What is up, Florida Outdoors people? Welcome back to the Florida Outdoorsman channel. As you can see, we're out on the big boat, and as you can kind of see way back down there, we have the crab traps. Ignore the floor too. If you watched the short, whenever that short was posted, I was ripping up the floor, and now I'm gonna be fixing up the floors, but that's neither here nor there. Let's not worry about that. That'll be a different video. All right. We've got the crab traps, we got the big boat, we're on the St. Lucie River. It's wintertime from what I'm told. Doesn't feel like wintertime, just in shorts. But we're gonna set out these crab traps a little ways up, and yeah, we got dog food for bait, so we'll see how that goes. I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah. All right. I know we are looking directly into the sun, but that's just kind of how the boat floated. We've got old Rusty Trusty. We got some dog bait that we've been freezing, or thawing them in. And basically, I'm just gonna poke a bunch of holes in it to get the scent out and the juices. Try not to stab myself, obviously. And then what I'm gonna do also, I'm just gonna cut off the top here, put it together, and we're gonna try and not touch this. It's kind of nasty. And then hopefully that will bring in the crabs. And let's cut off this end as well. Just to kind of help ourselves out a little bit. What you say, guys? A little bit of freebie in the trap. Alright, there's that. Let's close this up. Now let's drive this a little bit closer and we'll toss this out. Alright. Old Rusty Trusty, here we go. Looks like it went down good. On to the next one. What do you say, guys? All right. Trap number 2. Boy, it sure does come up quick. Foot. Ain't no way this is a foot. Alright, it's a foot. Well, let's back up, shall we? Alright, a little bit better. Right down there. Again, same thing. Let's cut off both ends. Try and get the scent out a little bit. And let's poke the holes. Not poke the atom. That's a little better. Sounds like 11 feet now. Alright. Throw the little freebie one in here. There we go. 13. Let's move in a little bit closer now. 12. Sounds good. Hang on. Or we just arbitrarily toss this. All right. Looks good. Let's move on to the next one. All right, trap number 3. I'm just killing it with these angles with the sun right in the way. That's not holding very well. All right. Last one. So I'm gonna kind of. Wait, yep, that's still floating. Cut halfway as well. I like to sump out. Alright. Let's turn the boat a little bit, shall we? Hey, this must come up quick. We're still sitting in 12 behind the boat, and the shore is right there. All right, third trap going over. All right, that's gonna. Yeah, that's gonna need to go up a little bit further off the bow. Let's try this again. I think we just barely touched. All right, y'all. Welcome back to day number 2 of wintertime blue crabbing in the St. Lucie River. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've heard that blue crabbing in the winter is not very good, and we're in an area that we have never crabbed in before, so I don't know. I mean, something to keep in mind, guys. You always want to try something new. Alright, you can't always just do the same thing all the time, every day. A little bit of inconsistency is always nice. But you know what? We got our giant monster, and we are heading to go put the boat in the water and then go grab those crab traps. It is extremely early still, guys. I know it's bright out, but I did not get to bed until very late last night. I am very tired. So let's go pull us some crab traps, shall we? I'm gonna stop complaining, and we're gonna have us a great day. All right, talk to you guys in a bit. We're on the water. Let's go get us our little crab traps. fingers crossed we got something good. I'm excited, guys. Hope you are as well. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. Even if we don't get anything in the traps, we're getting out and we're having a great time. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in this video. Let's go pull us some traps, shall we? Yee! Alright, y'all. This is gonna be kind of tricky. We got the wind kind of pushing us a little bit, and the crab trap isn't in the best place. This is definitely harder to do when you're by yourself. We got one blue and one catfish. And I think the trap is definitely under the boat. What we got? We got a female. Oy. All right. Come on. All right, catfish out. Catfish in the water. Let's get a little bit of water in the crab trap, or in the bucket. And then we'll get the crab on in there. So let's turn this boat around, that way we're not sitting where we could possibly run into sticks again. Alright. Crab in the bucket. Let's crab in the bucket. Let's leave this for right now, the trap and everything. And I'll show you the crabs at the end of it, alright? So we'll get the next one. Oh, yeah. Always make sure your area is clean, your working area. Alright, next one's going to be right up here. We got one at least. If that's the only one we get, I mean, again, Rusty Trusty produces yet again. But if that's the only one that we get, we'll toss her back in. So I'm not keeping a female. In fact, I probably should toss her back in anyway. Alright, second trap. Pushing us another. This was the one that we set out last yesterday, and also seemed like it was going to be like straight up and down. All right, second trap. That female's still angry in there. and we got nothing. All right, that's good. It's always good when you get nothing in the trap. All right, last trap. All right, trap number 3, here we go. I lost the trap underneath the boat. This one was straight up and down as well. Take it back. It actually feels like it was on the bottom. And all right, a male and a catfish. Perfect. Wait. Show you them here in a second. Got some whistling ducks going over too. Alright, so I'm gonna set all these back out again just because I still got bait and I don't feel like putting everything back. That was not a good toss on my part. Try and not get tangled up in the rope. Alright. I'm gonna go on that point over there. But let's get this one out. And the catfish. It's a fat catfish. Alright. Let's go set the rest of these out. Alright. A nice male. Yeah, I got 2. I'm gonna be honest, that's not really what I'm feeling right now, so we'll send these 2 back in. Oy, she's a feisty one. She is not happy. All right. Huh. Look at that, guys, that big white apron, and she's got a leech on her. You see that little black thing right there by her mouth? It's moving. Yeah. All right. You know, all right. I've only got 2 crabs. One of them being a mature female. It's gonna have a lot more other crabs. I'm not keeping it. So let me set out old Rusty Trusty on the other side, and we will come back tomorrow for day number 3 of crab trapping. Old Rusty Trusty is all bent up and not looking her best. I went back way too far. She's all bent up, not looking her best, but she is definitely going to be the one that catches more crabs. Alright, let's get her set up to toss. 5 feet. There we go. And old Rusty Trusty is out. Alright, last trap. We'll go back where we set the first one. Actually we'll go over there where we caught that male. I don't want to end up catching another female. Alright, third trap going out. Alright, so some of y'all may look at me tossing those 2 crabs back as, I don't know, just being whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm in the unique position, guys, where I'm not starving. I don't need those 2 crabs. So, you know what? It's better to toss back a female that's going to be putting out a ton of babies than it is to kill her off. And then that young male, again, it's just better to get more crabs at a later time than it is to kill off those 2 crabs that we just got. Alright? You might call it as whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not you. But to me, again, I'm in a unique position where I'm doing this. Alright? And this is more just being educational for you guys to show you that you don't need all of this fancy stuff. All you really need to go out crabbing is not even a big boat, just a boat in general, and 3 traps. And I mean, how many times have we come out here and we have caught plenty of crabs to make a good meal, and multiple meals, and make crab cakes and whatever else. So I know I'm kind of ranting here, but sometimes it's not about catching and eating and being a meat fisherman. Sometimes it's about just catching and going, I've only got 2 crabs. I'm not going to kill off this female, and I'm not going to kill off this young male. There's no point. Alright? So I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I do appreciate all you guys for tuning in. So let's get back to the boat ramp, and I'll hit you guys with day number 3, where we pull these 3 traps tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to get, but I do know that it's going to be an awesome adventure, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in on my adventures. Alright, let's talk to you guys later. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to day number 3 of wintertime blue crabbing in the St. Lucie River. Pretty sure that's what the title's going to be for this video. I don't know. It is cold, y'all. Like 40 degrees cold. And I'm going crabbing. Does this not feel like a good idea to anyone else? This doesn't feel like a good idea to me. Anyway, let's go pull these crab traps and have us a great day. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. You guys are awesome. Talk to you later. Alright, y'all. First trap. I always say this is more difficult when you're one person. Oh no. Well, that's not good. We just lost old Rusty Trusty. That's not good. Alright, well that sucks. There's so many crabs inside Old Rusty Trusty that the trap broke. So that really sucks. Let's go pull the other two. I'm wanting to buy new traps anyway. That sucks. Alright guys, trap number 2. And nothing. Water is definitely warmer than it is outside. Trash. Well, at least we still got bait left. Alright. That really sucks. And the twine just broke on this trap as well. I knew that the twine was going bad on all these traps. I know the twine is going bad on all these traps, so I was gonna have to replace it today anyway, or before the next trip. But water is definitely warmer than the air temperature. Slowly but surely approaching the crab trap. All right. Place your bets. Anything in trap number 3. One small looking female. I can tell it's a female just by how red she is. Digging my hand into the end of the disgusting bait. Well, something will eat that, I'm sure of it, but just not any crabs in this trap. Oh, it's actually a male. I take it back. Might be the same male from yesterday. Might be the same male from yesterday. For all we know. But just a small little crab. Yeah. All right. Well, out of 3 days, we caught 3 crabs. Two males, 1 female, and I have kept none of them because, well, I didn't feel like keeping a female, and I wasn't going to keep just 1 male. So, there you go. We have managed to lose a trap. So that's cool. If this was summertime, I'd be in the water, but it's 40 degrees out and I'm not jumping in the water. So let's get back to the boat ramp, guys. All right, y'all. So as you can see, we are back at the storage unit. We're in the back of the truck. It's freaking cold, guys. Like, very, very cold. Aye. But you know what? We got some crabs. Hopefully this inspires y'all to get out there and try and get some crab as well. You know how? There's a whole series on how to do it. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Always remember, if you ain't wet, you ain't fishing in Florida. And I am very wet and cold right now. See you guys. Oh man, guys, I got my hat wet.